Oh, what's up, YouTube? Underworld 6667 here, coming at you with yet another deck profile from the top 32. No, not the top 16. No, not the top 32. No, not the top 8. Yes, all the way, the very last top 4 Nareg Torossian with his zombie deck profile. As you guys can see, I'm doing a still here. You can just listen to me talk to you about how great this deck is, how this person got to the top 4 of YCS Rhode Island, and how myself and Jarrell Pearl Winston, so far as I can see, have the only deck profiles up so far. So if you guys want, once again, as I always say, the #1 coverage, in my opinion, myself, Underworld 6667, make sure you click that lovely subscribe button. And let's start the deck profile. So we got 1 Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning, 3 Caius, the Shadow Monarch, 2 Card Trooper, 1 Chaos Sorcerer, 1 Dark Arm Dragon, 3 Effect Veiler, 1 Goblin Zombie, 1 Mizuki, 2 Mystic Tomato, 1 Plague Spreader Zombie, 3 Raiko Lightsworn Hunter, 1 Sangan, 3 Spirit Reaper, 2 Tour Guide from the Underworld, 1 Allure of Darkness, 1 Book of Moon, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Monster Born, 3 Mystical Space Typhoon, 2 Bottomless Trap Hole, 3 Call of the Haunted, 1 Compulsory Evacuation Device, 1 Solemn Judgment, 2 Solemn Warning, and 2 Torrential Tribute in the main deck. Moving on to the side deck, we have 3 Cyber Dragon, 3 Gravekeeper Spy, 1 Tsukiyomi, 1 Mind Control, 2 Soul Takers, 2 Compulsory Evacuation Device, and 3 of those lovely Dust Tornado. Moving on to the extra deck, we have 1 Chimeratech Fortress Dragon, 1 Armory Arm, 1 Gaia Knight, 1 Magical Android, 1 Mistworm, 1 Revived King Hades, 1 Scrap Dragon, 1 Stardust Dragon, 1 Digesto Phoenix. Very, very expensive card, as this was pretty much the only card that actually came out of Hidden Arsenal recently that was worth their time in looking at. Levier, the Sea Dragon at 1, Maystroke at 1, Leviathan Dragon at 1, Acid Golem at 1, Utopia at 1, and of course the Zen Mains at 1. That is the full entire deck list. Let's go over what's going on here. As you guys can see, you can reuse and re-abuse the Call of the Haunted. So you can get +1s if your opponent MSTs them. You could also 1-for-1 it when you bring out a Sangan, tribute it for Caius, then +1 with the Caius, as we've seen in previous Monarch decks, aka Frog Monarchs. Now moving onwards, we've got Spirit Reaper, a great defensive card. However, it is very, very powerful when it is able to knock out a card in your opponent's hand. As you guys could see, there was very little of Dark World presence, so knocking out a card in your opponent's hand could severely damage their actual field. Or their ability to play their cards, my apologies. As you guys can see, we have a lot of back row removal, so pretty much you're going to back row removal, then pop out the Spirit Reaper, and boop boop, you're gone. You could also see a Spirit Reaper come out in defense mode. Next turn, you're going to be playing maybe a Tour Guide from the Underworld, possibly a Chaos Sorcerer, possibly a Blackluster Soldier, even a Dark Arm Dragon, killing and clearing the field. Then you pop in with that little Spirit Reaper, taking a card from your hand. Oh, the ability is just endless with regards to this. You've got the Call of the Haunteds on the Goblin Zombie. You could also use it on the Sangan. You could definitely use it on the Card Trooper. However, if you're just looking to get simple pluses off of the Caius, or 1-for-1s off of the Caius, you're going to use the Call of Haunted on the Sangan or the Goblin Zombie. Very, very powerful deck. Moving on to the side deck, as you can see, he was kind of concerned with machines and big, huge attacking kind of decks. So we got the Gravekeeper Spies. All I can see there is he's got a very aggressive build, so if he wanted to move it in towards more of a conservative build, he'd switch out for those lovely, what are they called? Gravekeeper Spies, sorry. Possibly also when he's facing off against Dark Worlds, he'd switch it out. Instead of playing the Spirit Reaper, put in the Gravekeeper Spy, go for a little bit bigger damage rather than, you know, the Spirit Reaper possibly taking cards out of his opponent's hands and then them getting the awesome effects. As you can see, back row removal, back row removal, back row removal. Dust Tornadoes in full demand right in that side deck. You can play the Dust Tornado on your opponent's end phase, set the Call of the Haunted using the Dust Tornado's effect, and then play the Call of the Haunted on your turn. brilliant plays. Compulsory evacuation device, very versatile. You can use it on your monsters, you can use it on theirs. Your purpose for using it on yours, to reuse the cards that are on the field. Your purpose of getting rid of your opponent's XYZ and Synchro monsters. Very, very smart. Looking at his side deck, we got the normal 6s and the 5s that are left over from, you know, pretty much the banning of all the 6s. We've got Daigusto Phoenix, which technically can make very, very... I guess with a Plague Spreader Zombie and a Raikou, if that's all you have, instead of making an Armory Arm, a Daigusto Phoenix, which can attack for a total of 3,000, is a pretty good play. As you guys know, Levier the Sea Dragon is a very, very cool card in this kind of deck, because you're removing with that Mizuki and with the Plague Spreader, so you're able to bring back with the Levier the Sea Dragon quite often. All in all, it's a very awesome deck. I am so glad that Nareg, I had actually added him on Facebook, and then I messaged him to get the actual deck list. So thank you very much to him. And I just want to shout out, of course, the first person who posted it up. Unfortunately, it wasn't me. It was Jarrell Pro Winston. If you guys want to see the rest of the top 32, please go on to the channel, Underworld 6667. You can click the link just above this video to take a look, and you can view the entire playlist of the top 32 of Rhode Island. We also have a bunch of the top 32 deck lists from YCS Toronto as well. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, because you want to get your Yu-Gi-Oh! Information from the one and the only Underworld 6667. Thanks, guys.